Hello and welcome to Around Town, featuring what's going on here in the greater Concord area. I'm your host, Dick Patten. It's a pleasure to welcome you on this hot summer day and counting down the days, of course, when school officially opens. In some cases, it's already opened up. In other cases, it's coming within a week or so. And then countdown after that to the primary election day. And then the day after that, off to Michigan. So anyway, I miss veto day, but hey. So with me, former state representative and hopefully resumed state representative Scott Burns from Franklin Hill. And how's the campaign going on your end?
It's going slow, but it's going to go. It's going to start picking up, you know.
People just are not into it right. They're starting to maybe, but you know,
it's not.
They're sick of it already.
Yeah. In Franklin, we're having city elections, so they're more focused on that one than before the major elections.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have city elections in October, so we're just starting. I think we're in the filing stage right now, and all next week. So for city elections, so that's more focused right now for besides everything else, but. But all of us are getting out there, so.
Now, how many of you are running for city stuff besides state stuff?
How many
are you running for city council?
No, I'm not.
Alderman or whatever?
Well, I'm on the school board now.
Okay.
So I was elected last year, so I have 2 more years after this.
Okay, so you're on that.
So, yeah. And so if I continue to be state rep, then I won't have that seat. I think my job will be done if the city council passes their strategic planning and get everything with the school. I think we'll be done with that. And my job would be working at the state level, trying to get more funding for schools, not just for Franklin, but for everybody, because that really is a...
You think Franklin's going to close the high school and merge with Tilton, Northfield?
No, there's many different reasons why not to. First of all, that's more money, okay? Second of all, we can't do that because actually the Winnisquam district is thinking of closing one of the schools, so that's going to be more people in the school, so they can't afford to have us do that. So, and we can't afford to lose one school. We just can't. There's people that say that, but no. We're still working on, there is a committee after this budget season for the city and the school board. There is a committee that's working to improve the high school, which I've been doing on one of my subcommittees of the school board. So hopefully there's something that comes out of it that makes us strengthen. We just finished our strategic planning, which has measurable results. So that's going to take a year too. So I think it's premature not to even think about that right now when we got a lot of stuff on the plate to really improve that high school and the results.
Franklin High School.
Yeah.
So my father went to that school back in 19.
Oh, really?
1948.
My mother did too.
Wow,
even before my mother. Yep.
Yeah, because he was 6 years difference from my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And she graduated from Concord High in 43.
Mm-hmm.
So 1940. Because Andover had a high school at some point there. And they then transferred, then he moved to Salisbury. And Salisbury, for some reason, went to Franklin. And that's how he ended up in Franklin.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know where Andover High went to, but
they're in the Merrimack Valley district.
They are now,
yeah.
But they weren't happy about that when they first started, but I guess it's working out all right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you look at the distance, that is a little haul into Pennacook, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's like Deerfield coming to Concord.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
yeah.
But then you got Pittsfield, who's thinking of, well, they were rumoring of closing and maybe coming here, but then, I don't know. It is. It's a problem.
It is.
And then you got the charter schools that are opening up like dime a dozen sometimes, and they want public money.
Yep. Which they get more money
and that was a big issue with the legislature this year.
Yeah.
It was about that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you're going to give it to the charter schools, well then, why not the parochial or Christian schools? They're going to want their share. So it was quite a little tussle there for a while, and we voted against it. But it'll come up again, I bet you, this year.
Yeah, we have a very good charter school in Franklin.
Do you?
Yeah. So if they're not working out in our school system, they go there. But it only goes up to, I think, 7th grade now. Each year they add a grade or try to.
All right. What's your definition of a charter school?
Well, charter used to be a specialized, but now it's like it's servicing all of them.
Well, what's your definition? I'll give you 2 words: private, public. What's your definition?
Public. This one's public. It's open to the public. It takes public money. It has a board.
So you can tell Franklin charter this and that then.
Under special education, all the special education kids, students that are in the school are still under our jurisdiction.
Down here it's different, say. Most other places there are.
Yeah.
For the charter school, you don't tell them what to do. They have their own separate board, and that's it.
They have their own separate board, like I was saying, but the only jurisdiction we really have is when it's special ed. That's it.
That's good then.
Yeah, they still have to be under that umbrella.
Boy, it just so has changed so much.
Yep, and it's gonna keep changing until we,
Now, did Franklin vote Keno in last year?
Yes.
They did. How's that working out?
That's working out very well. I mean, you get a lot of people going up to JJ's and using it, and there's people, they're winning.
Yeah.
He's got some results up there, so it's working. Of course, we're going to get some of that money. I mean, we already had a full-day kindergarten, so it's good to get some extra money for us for that.
So Concord
Especially when we have to add another teacher because the enrollment's actually up for our students in kindergarten.
See, Concord voted it down,
Mm-hmm.
so we don't get anything.
Right.
But Bo voted it in, so I guess they have 2 or 3 places down there they can go and buy tickets. When we've been to Foxwoods, we go once or twice a year if we're lucky. But of course, they're coming around in the restaurants to sell tickets.
Mm-hmm.
We've never done it. I don't know how to play it. I mean, I've seen it, but it's almost like bingo in a way, where you can get 4 numbers, 5 numbers, or whatever. But I have enough to do playing slot machines without going to Keno too.
So however you want, some just play the Megabucks, some play just Keno. It's easier.
Yeah.
Some play pick 3, pick 4, and they win, on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Whatever works for them.
I know. And then you see these huge jackpots across the country, and one person wins it. It's like, horrible.
Yeah.
So when you get elected, what are you hoping to get? What committees you're hoping to go on to?
I'm not really too sure. Finance would be good just for the education, for the funding issues. But that I haven't really decided at this time. I mean, there's a lot of them that actually would participate this time.
A lot of veterans didn't go back in this time, didn't run again.
Yeah.
I was shocked at the number of them that didn't run.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them have been the spokespeople since I've been in, and then now they're gone out.
Yeah.
So it ought to be a different group.
It will be, and hopefully we have some energy to really sit down and talk about the education funding. That's key to me. But there are other issues, recycling.
Yeah.
Concord still recycles, right?
Yep.
Franklin actually doesn't. We're gonna still try to keep them in the mode of recycling, but the price is up, and so we can't afford it.
Yeah.
So, luckily, Northeast Recovery has made a deal with Canada, so they can take some of the glass. So that's going to help take something out of the waste stream. So I'll probably introduce some bills on that. There's, the paint bill. There is the mattress, carpets. Carpet you don't really need a bill, but those kind of things, and compost, which takes stuff out of the way. So right now we're putting all our recyclables in. We got to take something out to offset that cost, to keep it down for recycling, because we used to have 2 trucks go. If I take recycling, we only have about 1 truck to go a day, which saves money. So hopefully I can bring that all up again too. So, because I worked hard on that when I was in the legislature.
Yeah. You were in what, just 1 term or 2 terms?
Just 1 term.
Just 1 term?
Yeah. And I was
that's
working
right, too.
all that stuff. Yeah, I was going to product stewardship and yeah. So.
Yeah. Huh. Well, it ought to be. Primaries generally don't attract people. But there's a
We
race.
got in Franklin, I don't know about Concord, but we have a lot of energy to really, there's a lot of different groups that are focusing on getting out the votes and trying to make some change, because Franklin really wants to change now, so, which is really good.
Where are they pro? Are they Republican now?
It's both sides are helping,
Really?
trying to get people out to vote.
But it's equal on, I don't know. I know that there's been some down here. I mean, people that have run and we've never heard about before, and it's going to be interesting because we've got 2, I think, that have been in a while who are not running again.
Mm-hmm.
But
Some are retired, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I've got 2 competitors.
Mm-hmm.
One who I'm not worried too much about. The other one I'm a little bit worried, but she's from Afghanistan. But it's a crazy, right? Because you can't. I mean, I don't accept donations. I don't solicit for donations.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I am. I just don't. I figure that people in my ward have a hard enough time as it is to make ends meet without having to try to me to hound them for $5 or $10. I'd just rather not do it. I mean, I'm around looking for money as it is for the Christmas tree lighting and Grange events, and for me to go around again. I had a guy today, a gentleman I was fixing a sign of mine, and he thought I was going to, he said, I know signs. I said, no, I wasn't stopping for a sign, I was just stopping to say hello. He was fine then, very friendly then.
Yeah.
And I said, oh no. I said, I know how people are with those, don't worry. But
I always make sure mine's picked up afterwards, yes.
oh yeah, you have to. Well, you're supposed to anyway.
Yeah.
I think you have, 10, 15 days afterwards or something.
I try to make
them
them in the next few days, try them.
But I've
have
lost
someone else.
some of the ones I have are the ones I had when I was city council. I just can't afford to buy them. So I had stickers made over the council part and just got, I mean, it's hard. I can't afford that stuff. But hopefully, people won't destroy them.
It's part of the course. That's one thing that you always see.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I want them on people's lawns versus on roadsides, because roadsides, they're up in the air. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh.
People are going to take them.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, because they're good for yard sales.
Yeah.
Well, that's
or
what
the other
was.
side wants the wires, who knows.
That's what it was in Chichester.
So.
There's a house over there years ago, and I used to work in Pittsfield. She used to grab all the signs because it was good for yard sales.
Yeah, exactly.
But, it's hard. I mean, the governor's race, there's a race there in the Democrats, so that'll pull a few out. I don't think the governor Republican has a primary, I don't think.
No, I don't think so, no.
There's a race in the Libertarian pot for governor. But we don't have. I don't think we've got
The
any
good
voters
race
either.
is the congressional. There is actually one versus.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I see all these
District one.
signs.
Which district are you in?
I'm in District 2, like
Yeah,
you.
me too, yeah.
Yeah. One is on.
District 1 is like, phew, scorecard. I mean, it's like.
See all these commercials first thing in the morning. You know, 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah. I mean, the rep that sits beside me in the House has been the last couple of years. Mackenzie, he's running, but I haven't seen any ads.
And he hasn't. No, he was.
I don't
He
think
started off, but
yeah, but I think it's coming down to Sullivan versus Pappas.
Yeah.
I know there's another one over there too. Who's got his name in there a little bit, but I mean, it does take money.
It
Let's
does.
face it.
Congressional takes lots of money.
In District 2, we've got a couple of Republicans.
Used to run those congressional districts.
And
in
then
other
the
states.
Democrats, I think there's 1 or 2 there running, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It-
Turnout's going to be lower, but
Hmm.
we'll see. We'll see.
Well, in the presidential, everybody comes out.
Yeah,
Everybody
it
and their
affects
uncle.
them.
Everybody and their uncle comes out,
Yeah.
regardless where they supposedly live.
Even though politics is local, they should come out for the
I
more
know.
local election
we've
versus.
said that for years.
Yeah, I know.
Especially in the off years, we have our city elections in November,
Yeah, only
like
what,
next year.
13.
And then you'll never see him back. We'll say,
Yeah.
"Oh, see you next year." Why? What's next year? City elections. Don't bother that.
Yeah.
That's when you should bother
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
But they never do.
Yeah, I
You'll
know.
be lucky. I mean.
Yeah. So.
But no, it's going to be an interesting thing, and I know I keep thinking. Someone said to me about committees, and I said, well, I'd like to go back on transportation if there's a new chairman, possibly. And then I had someone else say, gee, Dick, we'd like to see you back on Fish and Game, which was I was on the first year I was in, and it was okay. Transportation really was good. I mean, it was very interesting, but
Yeah.
then we didn't see eye to eye in a few things. But
You would think me being on the school board, I'd be on the education, but I know a lot of school board members were not on education.
Yeah.
That was really funny. I'm like, huh?
I know it. It's because I think was it December. Was it the 4th or 7th? Is the first day of.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, the first 2 weeks.
Is that when we get sworn in?
Yeah, usually the second week, but yeah.
Yeah, you don't get your plates that day, I don't think, but I know that's when you get sworn in, and that's when you vote for the clerk and speaker and all that hoorah.
And this year we got someone else to vote for, huh?
Yeah, Secretary of State.
Yeah.
That's becoming a hot issue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised in some states that they vote for the Attorney General and the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
We've never done that here.
No.
But it's become quite the issue, and but I don't know how that's going to turn out.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I
That'd
think
be
so
interesting.
too. I really
So-
do. I don't know what party he's in, but I don't know if he's Republican or what he is, but
it's
it'll be good to see you back in there, though.
Yes,
I've missed you in there.
I miss everybody. I miss just there's a lot of need for Franklin from the state. So not just funding, but there's a lot of need. So there's a lot of work to be done.
And your competitor, of course, he's running again. Now you have 2 seats.
Yeah, there's
right?
2 seats, right? There's 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats. Yeah.
But I mean, on a whole, there's 2 seats in Franklin or 4?
There's actually 5.
5 seats in Franklin.
Right. So in my wards 1 and 2 in Hill, there's 2.
Yeah.
Ward 3 in Northfield is 2. Then you got a Flotorial that does from Boscawen to Loudon to Canterbury, Northfield in Ward 3, which is the 5th seat. So actually, Ward 3 has 3, and yeah. So it's when it was redistricted, we only had 4, so now we have 5 representation, which is all right.
But that's a real spread, though. Bosquen,
Yeah,
Canterbury,
I know.
Franklin.
How does that person? Yeah, there's a lot of different dynamics there. Yeah.
So, Bosquen, Franklin, Ward 3, Canterbury,
and Loudon.
Loudon too.
Loudon. That's the flotorial.
And now, isn't that crazy? In a way, if you're going to do that, why wouldn't you put Salisbury in there?
Salisbury's on the other side. Salisbury should be in Ward 1, Hill, and 2. But
I mean, really?
Oh, you mean go wrap it around? No, that's too much.
Really?
Yeah, that would be too much. But,
I mean, Salisbury borders Franklin.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
It also
Loudon
borders.
has nothing, I mean, in common with Franklin. I mean, really, I could see Loudon coming in with Pittsfield and maybe Gilmanton or something, but Franklin, that's a real haul.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know. Of course, they will be redistricting after the 2020
Yeah,
race.
probably go back. Who knows? I don't know. So we'll see. I'd kind of like it going better. I like it, all of us running in the whole, all of Franklin, you know, not just certain wards. Because you don't get to really know one ward, you know. So I'd like to prefer to get to know them. If I have to canvass for another campaign outside that, I'll go to Ward 3 just to see what they're saying, see what their issues are. They're kind of similar. I mean, they are dealing with education.
Now, you're working now about this way, too, so it's not like it was when you were down to London there. So it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, that one I was like on salary, and I had employee, and so I can leave him, and I can go do my job. So it's going to be different, but I can still be flexible. I just won't have any work that day. I'll just have to double up on other days. So, which is possible.
Of course, a lot of them don't realize they're part of the Merrimack County delegation.
Which you got to meet on 9 o'clock on Mondays or Fridays. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, that makes me inquisitive sometimes on that, because I don't understand why, like Grafton County, they still have the cows up there and pigs and all that, and they're very profitable up there with that. Why did Merrimack County get rid of it, along with some of the other counties? But
yeah, I don't know.
Grafton does very well.
And they do, I don't know necessarily boast, but they kind of market it, and they kind of tell everyone we got one of the best. Well, and I kind of, you know, with the cows, I says, okay, so if I go down and talk with a former commissioner with her dairy farm, are you going to be competing with her, you know? So, in other words, I mean, it's like, okay, all right, maybe, you know, we're the best around. How's that?
Yeah.
So, it's kind of funny. But
I don't know about Coas, but I know Grafton is very successful up there.
Yeah.
With their farming up there, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna be.
Well, I was just reading the commissioner's report last night, and prices they're down, they're low.
Yeah.
But until they meet production with the demand, that's what it's going to be. You know, so hopefully, you know, just talking to someone who just retired from Hood, you know, if one manufacturer is doing it $4, you know, selling it, and then other ones like Graylick is doing it too, what are you going to do? You know, so there needs some changes.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Yeah. So at least the commissioner's working on that.
I know the county nursing home is probably one of the best ones in the state, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I wish. Is it Lori? Is she still there? There's someone different,
Lori
right?
Carey?
No, not Lori, but who was working with the county home?
Oh, boy, I don't know.
There's someone different now, right?
I think there is, yeah.
Because I was told that person has moved on, which is too bad. She had after the McKenna house would be in and paid for, they would start building something in Franklin, because most of the people are coming from Franklin, and hopefully that we can have a better system for the elderly to take care of them, so we can reduce the costs at the county level. You know, and I hopefully that gets going again, because we actually need that around here. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's got something similar that's on White Road there.
Oh.
On 132 there when you go out.
Yep.
There. Yeah. Something similar to that. So.
Good. Well, we're coming to close around town, and we wish you extremely well in the primary and
You
in
too.
the general. Yeah, I know. It'd be good to work with you again. And so, for those of you up in Franklin and Ward 3, was it Ward 1 and 2?
Ward 1, 2,
Ward
in the
Hill.
town of Hill.
That's right. So be sure to get out there and vote for Scott Burns. So, with that in mind, I'm your host, Dick Patten. Have a great day. Don't forget, Election Day, get to the polls. If not, absentee voters. So, well, thanks to my director, and Ian Marx, and we'll see you all soon. I'm your host, Dick Patten.